everyone. Welcome again. This is Sunday Night Live with yours truly, Vinny. And then we have our special guest, very special, Monique Impagliazzo. She is joining us directly from Los Angeles, but she is a South Philly girl, tried and true, as we just saw with her beautiful sweatshirt. Welcome, Monique. How are you?
Good, Vin. Thanks so much always for having me on with you. I love hanging out with you, talking to you. We're always messaging each other about work and things like that, and everything's going on. So I appreciate all of your support. And it's so amazing everything that you're doing too.
Thank you. You know, not many people say they like hanging out with me, but I appreciate it. Thank you. But now, all kidding aside, it's great. Monique, you're, besides being a dear friend, you're one of the sweetest people I know. You are the most giving person I know. You're creative, like unbelievably, like serious. I'm not just saying that because you're on, but I mean, you're a writer, you're a producer, you're a director. You are a woman that doesn't accept no. You went out to LA. Hasn't been easy. You've been fighting, pushing through the system. We all know how hard it is to be a female in the industry, any industry, but particularly that one in Hollywood, how you hear all the horror stories, but you're making it. You're doing it. And I'm so proud of you. And you're my favorite person. So welcome.
Oh, thanks so much, Vin. This has been great. Thank you.
So let's tell the viewers that may not know you, I don't know who wouldn't, but in case they don't, tell them all about yourself.
Well, I'm from South Philly, like Vinny said, but I always wanted to, major in film and be a part of films and make them and things like that. Obviously, it's not easy, but it's an everyday self-starting situation. So I moved out to LA, and I miss home a lot. I try and get back as much as I can. And, I've been working in the business, in production, and making my way, meeting a lot of people. And I always wanted to direct, and I did finally, a short, and I shot it in South Philly called Turkey's Done. Some of you might have seen it with Sherry O'Terry, who was on Saturday Night Live, an amazing talent. And we went back to South Philly, raised some money, shot it with a few other girls from South Philly, Jen and Crystal Teeny, and it was just so much fun. So we couldn't have done it without everyone back in Philly, all the love and support. And just shot a music video, my first music video back in September. That came out, and now I'm about to release my second one with the legendary of Rosalind Kind. Her voice is amazing. I can't wait for you all to see and listen. It's her first time producing and starring in her music video. So it's just like a little bit short way. I don't want to bore everybody, Vin,
No. God, no, you're doing the opposite. Actually, it's fascinating because you know what? And I watched Turkey's Done multiple times. It's great. It really is. It's a great short. It was something that, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, I know half the people in it. I know the neighborhoods. It was really, really, it was just, you did a great job with it. And I know the sort of the struggles that you had with that. We talked about that, and you were a big inspiration on me because, as you know, we started with this idea, myself and my partner Sal Mazzato, with this pasta and cheese crew thing that we're doing.
Yes.
And so you gave me a lot of guidance on how to raise money, and we used Indiegogo, and then we had to get real creative because, as you know, and it's not easy to raise money. And but you gave me a lot of help, a lot of guidance, and contacts. So we don't forget that. So thank you.
Yeah.
But that's
and you did it, and you did it, and you're going to shoot it, and you got some publicity, and it's all about also. We don't think as filmmakers, and making our own projects, how important publicity is. There's so many moving parts to being independent and raising the funds and then shooting and then putting it out there. There's just so many different steps to it, and it's just a lot of fun, and you have to be ambidextrous and learn all of these different parts. But I'm always happy to help, especially someone like you, guys from South Philly, ladies who are looking to make films. It's just, you just got to keep on keeping on. It's a lot of research, talk to people who've done it. And I'm really glad that you did it. And I was so excited when you hit your goal.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we're at the beginning. We're like, oh, yeah, we got $100. Actually, I think you were the first person to donate, which is very sweet. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, of course, because when you hit send on that Indiegogo, when you're creating, you're all excited and you hit send, and you're like, okay, where am I getting the money? Within 30 days. So, I wanted to share and let everybody know because we have to support each other, and I love seeing stories made about our neighborhood. It's just really important because we are a different breed, right? I mean, but we had so much fun.
Yeah, and that's an important important lesson to learn too, because you said it early on, how South Philly is smaller than a lot of these bigger cities. South Philly is a component of Philadelphia, obviously, but it's, New York is colossal, so is LA, but there's something about people in South Philly, and it's not to be I'm not trying to exaggerate, but it means a lot when we can stick together, fellow neighbors, people from that neck of the woods, and Philadelphia in general. It's just a different breed.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that we have so much talent that continues to come out of the city. I mean, it's been happening for not just decades, but centuries. There's been very important things and people that come out of Philly, and you're one of them, Monique. So tell us about.
Oh, you're so sweet.
By the way, what's the weather out there?
The weather right now, it is raining really hard, and it's kind of nice in a way because we need rain. But every time there's a weather situation in LA, it's like it's on the news, But so it's raining, but it was good because I stayed inside today and got a lot of work done.
Two things I learned when I lived out there was the rain makes everyone panic, and don't be a looky-loo, which I never knew what that meant until I lived there.
Looky-loo, that's a good one.
Or rubberneck, as we would call it, like, when there's an accident or something, you're not supposed to slow down and look. Couple quick, we're not going to take questions right now, but we will take maybe sporadically some comments. Jesse Riccatone says, how much money do you need to raise for a short film? I'll let you answer it.
It's a good question. It depends on your script, right? It depends on how long your script is, how many days you need to shoot. And I always like to talk to a first AD when I have a script that's ready to go to see how long they think we need to shoot, how many days we need, right? So if you need 1 day of shooting, it's going to be 1, and then you double it with each day. So it really depends. I think the sweet spot with shorts is about 15 minutes, and you want to think about it in the way of about a page a minute, right? It's about a roundabout. So if we shot Turkey's Done, which was about, I want to say, anywhere from 17 to 20 pages, and we shot that in 2 days. I mean, we jammed a lot in, but we got it done. And I mean, it's not a secret what our budget was. It was, close to 30,000 for that. But we did have name actors, so you want to take good care of them because 9 times out of 10 they might be doing you a favor. Yeah. But we got very lucky with Sherry O'Terry, Al Sapienza, and Vic DiBattista, who were all name actors, which I'm still so grateful for because they are genius on screen and really have changed things for us and for the film. It wouldn't have been anything without them. So so that's how I look at it. And we could talk more too. If anybody has any questions, they can always message me about raising funds and things like that. Yeah, well
said. And for those that may not know, AD, first AD, assistant director. Just a little side note. Hello, Pork Chop says you were the best basketball player in St. Nick's.
Pork Chop, I love you. Thank you so much. Desiree Caldwell is going to be very upset hearing that.
And another great person that came out of St. so many came out of St. Nick's. Forget it. Too many to mention. But Dom Herrera, great comedian, came out of St.
Wow. Oh my God. I don't even know if I knew that. I mean, I knew he was obviously from South Philly, but that's amazing.
When I met him in LA with Eleanor Carrigan, another great South Philadelphia native.
So funny. So funny.
We hung out at one of these bars next to, I forget the name of it, it's been so many years, but it was next to the Comedy Store. And he had this little Beatles Purple Submarine book, I guess, where he'd write down his notes. And he was just funny, man. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm from St. Nick. I went to St. Nick's. I told him I was from St. Paul. And it was really cool.
Love it. That's awesome.
All right. So what got you started, or what really motivated you to get involved in the film industry?
It's a good question. I mean, I loved films from when I was really young. I got really obsessed, started watching as much as I could, then knew I wanted to go to film school. My parents, they didn't go to college, but they knew they wanted me to go to college. And I said, well, the only thing that really interests me is film. So if you guys are okay with me majoring in film, then, that's what I'm going to do. So I remember having dinner with my parents and they said, okay, if that's what you want to do, we're not going to tell you what to do. You're on your own, with what you want to be and what you want to do. So I don't know. Then it was just always something inside me. It was always something that excited me. And then I just, once I was finished school, started working on set a lot as a PA, started working in production. And as wherever I could meet people and network and get onto a set, that's what I did, basically.
That's how you started out as PA or whatever. Real
Yeah.
quick. So Mary O'Terry says hi.
Hey,
Hello, Mary.
Mary, how
She's
are
awesome.
ya? I love her.
One day I want to buy that condo in Ocean City, I promise.
I
But
know. I want to buy one from Mary too. I want to buy mine in Wildwood though, Vin. So we're gonna have to go, visit each other.
that's all right. I like the quieter part of the shore area. But Wildwood's always been a lot of fun. W knows, how are you? Thank you. Says Seffield, definitely represented by amazing peeps. Thank you so much. Very kind. Okay, so what? So yeah, let's face it. Our backgrounds with parents, it's usually like, go get a good job, go get a good, do something creative, get out of my house. But some people, that's the natural response. I mean, we've all gotten it. Most of us that are grown up in that way with parents like that. But it's good that they support you to go out and they recognize the fact that you knew what you wanted and you had a good head on your shoulders. So that's a beautiful thing. So now, tell us about Turkey's Done. How did that come into fruition? What inspired you to make that?
Jen, Crystal, and I had written a script. It was a feature, and it was very hard to get done. And we were talking, and we were saying, what if we did like a short film? And we randomly ran into the amazing Sherry O'Terry in LA, and she actually recognized Jen's South Philly accent. And they were walking their dogs, and we just started becoming friends with Sherry, and we asked her to read the feature, and she did. And
Nice.
We said to her, hey, what if we wrote a short film and raised some money? Would you actually come to Philly and shoot it? She's like, write it, let's see. So we wrote it and we gave it to her, and she really liked it. And the rest was basically history, so it was just like all very exciting. I still to this day can't believe it actually happened. We got very lucky, and to have someone like Sherry. And yeah, we did a lot of research and raised the money, did all the work with even preparing to raise the money, and it just kind of like snowballed. But publicity, when you're trying to raise money, right, and you're fundraising, you're doing an Indiegogo or a Seed and Spark or whatever it may be, Kickstarter, publicity is very important, because if there's no eyeballs on your campaign, no one's going to donate. And as Row Home got involved, and all different people from Philly, Maria Rossetti, who was a real estate agent, helped us with locations, and that donated the house. And there were just Pastificio donated food. There was just all these different people who were just like, what? You're making a movie? South Philly girls? Yeah, we got you, So basically that's how it all kind of came into fruition.
Yeah, you mentioned the realtor, Maria Rossetti. I see her name around. I don't know her personally, but I know I've seen the name around. And Pastificio already is that, so big shout out to them. And we didn't have you helped us, by the way, with the review. So you helped us with thank you. We'll never forget that. I guess my Row Home's going to put us in April, so we're on our way. They're wonderful. Love the girls over here.
Amazing. Dawn and Dorette, they are seriously from even beginning. Turkey's Done. We called them. We didn't even get a question out of our mouths. They were like, yes, whatever you need, just tell us. This is how they are every single time I call them for something. They are just so amazing. I can't say enough about Dawn and Dorette. They're celebrities.
And thank God we have Row Home Magazine. What a great publication, man. They really, really, and the way it's for those that don't know, it's very difficult to maintain print because everything's online now. But even though obviously they have a component online, but they just have such an amazing magazine that I really enjoy it. It's a wonderful thing.
I know. I get it. I get it delivered here in LA, and when it comes, it's like, it's like a piece of home. I get to sit, drink my coffee, read my Row Home. It's my thing.
Big shout out to my man Pitbull over there. Thank you for joining us. So with that, with all these beautiful places, and it's not easy. A lot of these businesses, I felt bad they even ask a lot of them. It's tough. A lot of them who survived the pandemic, they're stretched pretty thin, and they have problems finding proper employment in regards to workers. It's just tough. It's tough, but they still go in their pockets. They still help us out.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about the businesses in Philly.
for
Absolutely.
sure. And then yeah, I mean, even when, we had Pastificio helping us out, or Rohome, we had little odes to them in our film, for all that they did for us. Jen had on a Rohome t-shirt. One of our other characters had a Pastificio t-shirt on. Mark Liuzzi, the plumber, we had his truck. Kind of, it's like the opening shot of Turkey's Done. He donated our whole production office, let us stay in there for like a month for free. So we had a place to do a table read and, meetings and things like that. So, you don't think of all these little things that even if people donate to your, they're not donating maybe hard cash, but they're donating something else that makes your budget go down. So it's really important and, to utilize those relationships that you have, but make sure, you're giving back and keeping your word on what the transaction may be.
Yeah, always make sure you're delivering.
Yeah.
Hello to the collaborating kid, my friend Frank Mancuso, award-winning screenwriter, director, producer from New York. What's up, Frank?
Hi.
We got some nice people. We have people from all over the world. I mean, I don't forget it. Everybody's tuning in to see you, Monique. You see that? So
they're tuning in to see you. I mean, let's face facts, man.
They're sick of me. They don't have time to see my face. So that's really cool. Going back to Sherry Oterio, which I love her. I always follow whatever she puts online, and I always thought she's just a really unique
so funny.
Actress and comedian. You don't find many like that. Like Carol Burnett,
right?
I think I might say better.
Right.
I might say better.
Hey, legendary. Sherry is so funny, and even so funny in person too. Just random things. When she was stuffing the turkey in Turkey's Done, it was always a different take. We just didn't know. It wasn't written. I think we talked about that before. It wasn't written exactly what those lines would be. We just said to Sherry, do your thing, and it was different every time. And we were all behind the camera trying not to laugh, to mess her up. And because these takes were just so amazingly funny. But yeah, she's just off the cuff too. But she has that, all that experience coming up, so
it was all improvised, which is pretty cool. But that shows the ability,
Absolutely.
How was it working with? I mean, I hear a lot of good things, and you've said it already. But how was Al Sapienza?
I love Al Sapienza so much. I think he is a phenomenally talented actor. He had back surgery, I think, a week before Turkey's Done, and he had already committed to the film and literally came down. Still don't know how to this day how he did it, but he was so amazing. And him and I got to talk a lot about his character and who this person was, and he just blew me away every single time. I just love talking to Al. I could talk to him for hours. And he just goes out there and he's in everything. Every time I turn on the TV, he's on a different TV show these days. So he's still doing his thing,
Oh yeah, he's working.
Love you, Al. Yeah.
Mary said he pulled it off. He certainly did. He did a great job.
He did.
And what about the wonderful Victor Bettetto? I keep messing up his last name.
No, Victor Bettetto. I was watching a Victor Bettetto video. He did a live the other night. I was crying. Oh, yeah. He's still so funny. I mean, not that he. Yeah. I don't know if anybody heard that.
This is live TV. Listen,
yeah.
I'm surprised my kids haven't run down here screaming with some pants on their heads.
So
we're good. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, I didn't even know you were going with Vinny. I would have got on. She loves your show too, by the way. Her and my dad watched the whole thing on YouTube on the TV when I showed them how to do it in Philly. But yeah, Victor Bettetto, he's an amazing actor. I know he's a comedian, but I want to see Vic do drama. I'm excited about that. I know he's done some stuff. I haven't seen him in Grey's End yet. I need to watch the second season. I've watched the first. It's on my list. But Victor Bettetto is very talented. Just a great guy.
No doubt.
He loves South Philly. I mean, I know he's from New York, but he loves South Philly so much. We had a blast with him. Yeah. He's just a great guy.
We have a lot of mutual friends, and I hear nothing but good things. So that's look, and I love seeing these guys, and that's the other beauty of being on social media. Yeah. Although it has its negatives, but you constantly see material, so that's a beautiful thing. And that's a good segue into the fact that the power of the internet. We could never, we couldn't never have raised that money for Pasta and Cheese Crew
Same.
without the internet. I
Yeah.
mean, forget about, Indiegogo, but just getting the message out. And we were doing these reels and we had people that sponsored us. Like, it could never happen.
Yeah, the internet has definitely changed the way we make films, we watch films. It's just completely different, from when we were growing up. I mean, we didn't even have cell phones growing up then, and now we do everything with our phone. It's literally our lifelines these days. But yeah, I'm grateful for sure.
I'm laughing because I remember when I had my beeper and I was so corny that I had, now listen, I shouldn't even admit this, but on the beeper, I had like a Playboy bunny airbrushed on it. Like, it was like 12 or 13.
Oh, I love that so much.
Oh my God. With the codes, 143.
Yeah, 143 was it.
All right. Hats by Red Wolf. My buddy says Vic is great in Gravesend. Agreed. My man, Pork Chop Southly has an old soul. Agreed also with that. But maybe we should bring back the beepers. I don't know. Pagers. Some people may not know what beepers are. Pagers, beepers.
Yeah.
They cell phones. You can't live without them now.
Can't.
So let's now take everyone on the journey to you finally saying, I'm going to Hollywood and I'm going to make it happen. How was that?
Yes. I was working on a children's musical called Standing Ovation with writer-director Stuart Raffel and producer, who is his wife, Diane Kerman. And they asked me one day when we were in post to come out to LA. And I started to come out to LA a lot. And I was going back and forth to the point where they were like, can you just stay here? Can you move here? And so that's when I moved. I moved about 14 or 15 years ago. And I always knew that I'd wind up here, along the way. But I didn't know how or when. And it just made so much sense at the time. And yeah, I've been here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I was there many moons ago, 2008, and I can't. I mean, it's just so hard. You know how it is. When you're, the family, the job, the kids. I'm going to eventually make my way out there. So it may take like something really big to happen, but I want to make my way out there. I still have a lot of friends and family out there. But it's a tough town. Let's face it. A lot of people may not realize, but it's very. It's a fast-paced lifestyle. You're only as good as your last thing you did. You better have good representation. You better have good contacts or connections. Or it's tough. It's grueling, especially for a female. Unfortunately, it's tough to try to break through. You got that glass ceiling, which is very thin but very hard to break.
Yeah.
But too, I think, and this is sort of like the theme of what I'm listening to with your life is like, whether it's divine providence or whether it's just determination or whatever, maybe a little bit of both, you seem to always find that thing, that person that comes into your life or just comes and helps out, or like Sherry or Terry or whatever. Like, there's always those pieces of the puzzle somehow find their way together, obviously by you taking action.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of self-starting every single day in this business, and someone's always going to be out hustling you. So I always keep that in the back of my mind because I am very competitive. But I've gotten lucky with jobs and meeting people. But networking is so much a part of this job, basically, and this career, that as exhausting as it may be, it opens doors. And I actually just came from Sundance, which was my very first time, and it was on my bucket list. So that was a lot of fun. But Sundance is a filmmaker's Disneyland. Everyone's there. Everyone's meeting everyone. Great films are being shown. Deals are being done. So it was really exciting. It was my first time. Learned a lot. Definitely want to go back again, hopefully with a film next time. But, you have to put those goals up and out there, and everything's a learning experience day by day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about showing up. Just, showing up is half the battle.
Yeah.
And with film, in regards to film festivals, I was always curious. I mean, I'm going to be new to the circuit with this. This is my debut, but we're talking about Tribeca. There's so many of them, but Sundance is definitely on the list too. So, and I think it's just like I just said, it's just about showing up. And if you have some talent and you're able to just keep growing and learning and position yourself, I mean, something's bound to happen. By the way, Joyful said, I found out my husband was cheating on me with the beeper. Wow.
Oh,
I don't know what code that
I'm
was, but I
so
feel bad. I
sorry.
know.
God.
The hell with the beepers. You know what? The hell with the beepers.
Yeah, we're not bringing those back. No.
What else we got? We have some people from Brooklyn. Hello, hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Brooklyn.
Sarah Marquez from
Speaking of
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Rosalind Kine is from Brooklyn, so that's exciting.
Very
Yeah.
nice. So tell us right now. I know, obviously, with the music video. Tell us everything you've been doing in the last, let's say, 6 months. Let's name drop. Let's promote. Tell us everything.
Yeah. So, when I was on your show last, Malik Hanna was the artist that I had directed my first music video for him, and it was so much fun. Learned so much. Worked with a great DP, Justin Nodal. And so the band got back together again, the production team, and I introduced Malik to Rosalind Kine because Rosalind, she said to me, I want to make a music video. And I was like, let's do it. She's like, I never started my own. I was like, you need to be in your own music video. It's time. And she has this gorgeous voice. And I've known Roz for, I don't know, maybe over 10 years at this point. Roz had toured with her sister, Barbara Streisand, on the Back to Brooklyn tour, which at the time I was working for Barbara as her executive assistant.
Nice.
So that was sort of my tour. It was Barbara's tour, but I worked on that tour. So I was the executive assistant at the time, and so I got to know Roz on that tour. And then our mutual friend Nicole Guest is also very close with Roz, and we were at a dinner around this time last year, actually, when we started to talk about the music video, and it's going to be coming out on Valentine's Day.
That's awesome.
I always forget to say titles, Vin, so let me say the title for everybody. It's called The Look of Love and the Island. It's a medley. It's 6 minutes. It's got this beautiful love story throughout, which I'm really excited about, and all the rest of us are excited too. So Malik came on to produce with Roz, of course. Roz is the producer, and then Malik, and then myself as a director, and Justin again coming back as our director of photography. So yeah, Valentine's Day.
That's great. That's great. So, and now where could they find that or download it, or how would they come about finding that?
It will be released on YouTube Valentine's Day, and then the song, if you want to download, will be on Spotify, Apple Music, all those. Yeah, all those.
All the
platforms.
usual places.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
Exactly.
So that's Barbara Streisand's sister. I didn't know. I maybe mentioned it before. I don't recall. But you worked for Barbara Streisand. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I started working for Barbara back in 2011. I think till like 2016ish. Yeah. So I was the executive assistant, and Barwood Films. That was my place of employment. Loved it. Learned so much. Had a great time. Met a lot of great people. So it was a great learning experience for me.
She has a similar story. Worked herself out of Brooklyn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
became with nothing and became huge.
Yeah, Barbara worked very hard, and I'm actually in the middle of her book right now too, which is very interesting. It's a masterclass for actors, singers, directors, producers. Everything is in there. This woman has done everything, and I'm listening to it on Audible, which is interesting because sometimes if she's talking about a specific song, she'll also play the song for you. So you kind of get the idea, and you could be there basically with her in real time. And she's reading the book too. So it's very, very interesting.
Nice.
It's 48 hours, so it's a commitment. And I think I'm about 25 or 30 hours in at this point. So it's very interesting. Yeah.
Well, we got to definitely give out we'll have to put that in the description so people can check it out too. Well, we're going to put all the links, everything, in the description box, because what we're going to do is after this is done tonight, for those of you that don't know, we're going to go ahead and upload it to YouTube. This way it's there in perpetuity, and then we'll have all the links and everything in the description box. Big shout out to Leo Procopio, my buddy, and also part of the Pasta Cheese Crew. He's Dino Cretino. That's his character, but he's on here.
Dino Cretino.
Those of you who speak Italian might get a kick out of that. Okay, so now obviously it's a sacrifice. You're out there away from your family. Yeah. It's always tough. I know how that is too, being separated from family, long distances, and the whole deal. But You've managed, I'm sure, to build a great network of people, and a lot of these friends become like family, I guess you might say. But about tell us about what you believe you learned growing up in Philly that maybe helps you today.
I have a lot of girlfriends that I'm still friends with till this day. And my family is always so supportive, no matter what I tell them. My sister is always there for me, my brother, of course, my parents, my aunts, my Aunt Helga, everybody, my Aunt Patricia. Um, and then all my girlfriends, my GLs back, they're all still there. There's like one or two that maybe live in the suburbs, but I feel really lucky when I come home, we get together. It's important for me to see them. And if it wasn't for them and my family and here in LA I have my wife. This is really hard. There's days where you just want to give up. You're just like, okay, I'm done. But then you get back on because everyone, you put all this time, this effort, and you have the support system. But also growing up in South Philly, you're street smart automatically. You have to be, or you're not going to survive. So I think that also gives us a leg up too,
Yeah, no,
is being street smart.
I agree. It's actually it's funny you said that, because I think the same thing. I think that little bit of that gives you a little edge. Unfortunately, it's a good bad thing, I guess, but you kind of grow with that little extra sharpened edge where okay, who's trying to take advantage of you, who maybe
Exactly.
Leo,
Yeah.
Leo says, "How's Aunt Pat?"
Oh, she's great. Love her. I was with her early January when I was home for her birthday. So she's just the best. Thanks so much for asking. I'm gonna let her know. I don't even know if she's on who's on this. I'm trying not to look because then I'll get distracted and I won't
touch the
talk
buttons.
to you. But
Don't play with the buttons.
I'm not touching any of it. But I'll kick myself off. It'll be terrible. But thank you so much for asking, and I will definitely let her know too. So sweet.
So, again, people out there that may be listening who maybe they want to be an actor or actress in show business, in music, in whatever.
Yeah.
I think that it's it pretty much, no matter what field you want to get into, the thing is, don't give up. Just keep plugging away. Why don't you give the advice, Monique? Anybody's listening, what would you advise them to do that are a little scared to step off their comfort zone?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people start with the small steps. Take a class, see if you even like it. Take an acting class. There are acting classes in Philly. If you're adventurous, go up to New York. I mean, there's a lot of New Yorkers who are on here. Take an acting class. Why not? Singers, I'd say, take a singing class. I know a great coach, Sal Dupree in Atlantic City. Go over and see him. A lot of his people are on America's Got Talent, American Idol, his guys, his girls. I mean, amazing. Dexter Darden, who studied with Sal, is actually going to play Muhammad Ali in a new series on Peacock. So, go and talk with them and do the research and take those small steps. It's going to be scary, but at least you'll know that you tried and see if it's for you.
Yeah, and my own thing is, I always say, there's no such thing as failure.
No.
There's an old saying from when we used to play this game. It was, there's no such thing as failure, just death or success. So,
basically, it's breaking it down.
Everything's is a learning experience. By the way, hi Mo, love you, auntie watching. So it must be your auntie.
Oh my God, it is my auntie. That's her. It's Aunt Patricia.
So
that's her.
So, by the way, Leo's from Squilla's office. That's the Leo I'm talking about.
Leo. Oh, Leo, I got to talk to you about something else too, but that's offline.
We got to straighten something out, between the lines. No,
all good stuff. All good stuff. Him and my auntie love each other. They're good friends. Hi, Leo. Again, so sweet.
And big happy family here on Instagram. It
I know. Patty Cakes. Yeah, see, that's her. That is her nickname. Mm-hmm. They all know each other. That's what I love too. When I come home to Philly, I can't go to CVS. I'm in there for like an hour. I run into so many people, but here in LA, I don't run into obviously too many people, and I forget. But when I go home, I'm like, that's right. I know so many people here. I love that so much.
And we have better chicken cutlets. Let's face it.
not even in the question, man.
I remember when I was out there, I was going to like Ralph's or one of those supermarkets, and I'm like looking. This is in 2008, and they didn't even have cutlets, but the boneless and skinless chicken breasts were like $7 a pound back then. And I'm like, I had to go home, slice them, and I had somebody over that wasn't from Philly. Well, it wasn't from the East Coast at all. And they're like, "Well, what are these?"
I mean, I love it. There's a story. One of my good friends, Jen Kondo, her dad, God rest his soul, came out to visit her when she was living out here. And he goes to the grocery store and he's asking for a basil of gold. Where's your basil of gold? This kid looked at him like, oh, it's the best story I ever heard. I don't even know if they know what scroll is out here, to tell you the truth. I never see it in the supermarket out here. So, I don't know.
There should be like some sort of like manual, for if you come from the East Coast in case you need to translate.
Exactly.
So, all right. So I guess maybe in like the next 10 minutes we'll wrap up. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and pop them up now. By the way, if you haven't already, please, I'm like 2 people away from like 900 subscribers. So please, I'm going to do a shameless plug. Please subscribe to me on YouTube.
Please do.
Vinny Presents. I think I have a pin. But more importantly, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram, as you all know. Monique Impagliazzo. Same thing on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of those. Manifesting Productions, which is my production company, now has an IG. And we just got onto IMDb. So I'm excited about that. So, and then, The Look of Love, The Island will be coming out on YouTube. Like we said, Spotify, Rosalind Kind. Go over and follow her, listen to her voice. It's amazing. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, the same thing with Malik. Same thing. I mean,
Malik too. Yeah. Go follow Malik. He's amazing. His voice, unbelievable. And there might be a little duet coming up between some friends of mine that I mentioned. So I'm excited about that. Well, for some future.
And that's just so you know, for those that weren't on earlier, it's Malik Hanna, Hanna.
Yeah.
But we'll make sure when we upload this to YouTube, we'll include all that as well.
Hi, there's my friend Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
I worked with Angela in New York. She's amazing.
Welcome. Please make sure you follow, guys. Make sure you follow Monique. Very important. Keep an eye on what she's doing and support her in every way possible because she's one of us. She's a good, great, big heart of gold, really.
So are you.
It's true. Thank you. I try. I'm getting better. I'm getting better now. Tomorrow, guess what? I'll be my first day on the radio, Hamilton Radio. So I'm all proud of myself.
Oh my God, Jim! Congratulations. That's amazing.
We'll have to do something with that too when the time. It's going to be every other week on Mondays, but it's going to get distributed through iHeart, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Let us know what we could do to help.
All right. So you know what? No. You know what? You guys are always support. Thank you. Jesse Riccatone says, I'm working on a short film about brotherhood. Just out of curiosity, what do both of your views on brotherhood, and do you have any creative ideas on it? Thanks. A short film about brotherhood. Now, what kind of brotherhood are we talking about here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What I would say, I'm going to say my opinion, then you can chime in with that, is anything you want to do as far as writing, just start putting pen to paper and just start clicking away on your laptop. I just go through YouTube and just find all kinds of information on how to write things. I also don't recommend just sending it to people because, first of all, if you send it to people that are close to you, you're never going to get an honest shake. And then if you send to other people that are strangers, they might take your ideas. And a lot of people don't like unsolicited material.
Right.
But as far as writing a story, what do you think, Monique? What would you say?
Yeah, I think always write what you know. That's what I always do. And like you said, just keep on writing, researching, and that's good advice too. Someone who you respect in either in the business or who has maybe done it before, have them read it, who you trust, and just you're having these visions for a reason too. I always tell people that. So, be true to your heart, listen to yourself and your visions, and get as much down on paper as you possibly can, because you're having those feelings for a reason, and you want to get them out, and there's a message that you want to tell to the world, so it's important.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. I'm learning that. I'm in my 40s now, but I'm learning more about things that we I kind of grew up with just concrete, like this is the way life is. This is the, but there is another magical part of life. I know it sounds kind of weird, but there is another magical part of life, as you said, with the name of your production company, Manifesting Productions. Like there is such thing as manifesting things, attracting things, vibration, frequency, all that stuff. I know it sounds a little fringe, but no, it's real. And I realize people just like you, people have come into my life. I'm like, wait a minute, how did this happen? You know, how did any of this happen?
Yeah.
But it's application, and it's also
it's exciting. It's exciting. And another thing too is one more word of advice. There are screenwriting contests out there, and they're also, you can submit to get coverage on your script. I find that very helpful as well, because I get feedback from people who read scripts all the time. Sometimes I do that with my scripts if I feel like I'm either, I want to know what people are thinking.
Yeah, and look, there's a wealth of information now more than ever on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like years ago you had to rely on like limited information or knowledge, and networking is infinite now.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, otherwise maybe we'll wrap it up. I don't want to keep you all night, although I'd love to. If anybody has any questions, otherwise we'll sign off soon. But Monique, listen, I love what you're doing. We talk a lot. Well, we probably need to talk more sometimes. Life gets in the way. But that's a good thing. We all have our duties.
Yeah.
But I think you're a real inspiration. You really are. You're a good soul, and I think you have nothing but success in front of you.
Thank you, Ben.
And I'm always at your disposal. Any final words for those that need that motivation to follow their hearts and their dreams?
Yeah. Please just keep on keeping on. It's not easy. I'm going to just be blunt, but every day is a self-starter. You're going to have those bad days, and you need to have that group that you lean on to go to tell you that you can do it. And we're doing it. So here we are.
Yeah, there's special connections here. We were all starting from
we
zero.
Are.
It's not like we were into a family of actors or we had this connection.
Nothing.
You just got to start somewhere, but you get the help. It comes to you somehow, some way, as long as you do your part. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where I say, please don't forget to follow Monique, subscribe, do everything possible. Make sure you support her. Please follow me on here. Also on Vinny Presents on YouTube. Please, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which everybody's been great. Thank you for that. Please support Monique and her beautiful work. And any last words before we sign off?
Thank you all so much for coming. You're so sweet. And I love the questions. Keep them coming. If you want to DM me, if you have more when we get off and you think of more, please message me.
There you go. You have no excuse, guys. Again, thank you for watching Sunday Night Live. It's been my pleasure. My name is Vinny. That's been Monique. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Vin. You're the best.
Thank you. Ciao.